Hello students, we all are here to study the chemistry topic periodic classification of elements. I am Mrs. Sushma Sharma from Srimati Vimla Dr. Lakshminarayan Soni School and Junior College. It is a unit of Adarsh Vidya Mandir group of institutions, and here we will switch to our topic periodic classification of elements. In this chapter we are going to work out with this following subtopics: elements and their classifications, D'Aubernier's law of triads, Newland's law of octaves, Mendeleev's periodic law, and modern periodic table. Now first of all, what is meant by the word periodic? Periodic means repetition coming after a certain interval of time. See, your subject periods are there, weekly subject periods, they are repeated after a particular interval of time. Okay, this means periodic means it will repeat after a particular interval of time, and classification means bifurcation. For example, if you go to your class library, and if you ask your librarian for issuing her a physics textbook or a chemistry textbook, within a few seconds she goes to particular table or she goes to particular almirah and she takes out the book, and it is very easier for her to issue it. But do you have thought for a while that how so many books which have arranged in the library, how the teacher can remember all these books? So for that she is classifying, she is arranging the books in a particular order. So this classification of elements was done 1800 years back. This we are going to study here. There were many elements discovered and their physical and chemical properties were discovered. To remember so many elements, it was very difficult at a glance. So for that a particular format was decided by the scientist, and that classification, it was improved day by day, and today we are known near about 118 elements in our chemistry which we are studying. So this changes from 1800 till today, that is from 30 elements which were initially at the stage of 1800 years back, and today we have come towards 118 elements. These stages we are going to study here in this chapter. Okay, so but before switching to the topic, we'll just have a quick revision of certain topics which we have covered in our class 9 previous classes. About matter, we all know that matter exists in elements, compounds and mixtures in our nature. So what is element? Molecule of elements, it contains atoms of single one type, or we can say single type. For example, if we take oxygen molecule, so oxygen molecule have 2 atoms of oxygen. Similarly in compounds, it is having atoms of 2 or more type. For example, if we take a water molecule is formed with 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, and mixtures are nothing but they are the combination of both elements and compounds. Okay, so matter exists in elements, compounds and mixtures, but compounds and mixtures come rather on afterwards. The first one is elements, and we are going to study about these elements in this chapter. So initially 1800 years back there were 30 elements known, and these elements, they were broadly classified under 2 groups. These 2 groups were known as metals and non-metals. Okay, now they were placed under this group metals and non-metals, but there were certain elements which were having properties of both metals and non-metals. This classification was based on their chemical and physical properties. Okay, but there were certain elements which were possessing properties of both metals and non-metals. Now there was a question where to place these elements. So these elements were known as metalloids, and to place these metalloids, it was a great question that where to place. So later on scientists worked out on these elements, and Daubigny was the first scientist in 1817. John Wolfgang Daubigny, he came forward with the idea of law of triads. Okay, so which is known as Daubigny's law of triads. So Daubigny, he came forward with the idea of law of triads. He arranged the elements in a group of 3 having similar chemical and physical properties, and he arranged these elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. For example, we'll take a triad of lithium, sodium and potassium. Okay, and for instance, if A, B and C, these are the 3 elements, so he proved that the middle element atomic mass was approximate mean of the other 2 elements. In this way he calculated. So we will start calculating the first triad, lithium, sodium and potassium. So the atomic mass of sodium was approximate mean of the atomic masses of lithium and potassium. So 6.9 of lithium and 39.1 of potassium divided by 2 will get here 46 as an addition. So it comes to 23. So the atomic mass of sodium is 23. For this triad it was correct. Now considering the second triad, calcium, strontium and barium, the atomic masses were substituted and the atomic mass of strontium was calculated as the addition and mean of calcium and barium. We got it as 88.7, but actual the atomic mass of strontium is 87.6. Okay, so this was also somewhat approximate same. We cannot say exactly same, it was approximately same. Similarly, for chlorine, bromine and iodine, the calculation came and the bromine atomic mass we got it as 81.2, but actual its atomic mass was 79.9. So here 100% it was not successful for all the elements. Okay, so again many scientists worked out on this classification, and further in 1866 John Newland, he came forward with a new idea of law of octaves. So now in the year 1866 John Newland, he came forward. By the time 56 elements were discovered, and he arranged these elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses. So when he arranged the elements in increasing order of atomic masses, he found that every 8th element in that table possessed the properties as that of the first element, similar to that in the octave of music. See, Indian musical notes, we all know Indian musical notes are sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and again after that the same musical note starts. So similarly Western notes also do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and the notes are repeated again. So this law was similar to that of the octave of music. That is why it was known as Newland's law of octaves. And he suggested that when elements were arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses, every 8th element possessed the properties as that of the first element. But this was not 100% successful. There were certain limitations because this law was implemented only up to calcium. Later on the elements didn't follow this law. So again many scientists started working with the same procedure considering fundamental property as atomic mass of the elements, and they worked out on this table again and again. So further, in the year 1869 to 1872, another scientist, Dmitry Mendeleev, he came forward with a periodic table which gave a clear picture of the periodic table, but there were certain limitations to this table also. So now we'll go through the Mendeleev's periodic table. So Dmitry Mendeleev came forward with an idea that properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. That means he also took atomic mass as the fundamental property, and he, by the time out of 63 elements, he prepared 63 such type of cards. He pinned them on a wall and prepared a periodic table, wherein he wrote the physical and chemical properties below these elements on the cards, which included melting points, boiling point, densities, as well as hydrates and oxides also. The general formula for oxides, it was taken as RO or R square O, as well as further it continued as R square and O cube and so on. As well as for hydrates, he took the general formula as RH, and he placed all these things, all these properties on each card. Then he pinned this on a wall and he prepared a periodic table. This was somewhat successful, but there were certain merits of this table as well as demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. So now first we will see the merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. So Mendeleev prepared this periodic table and he kept certain vacant places in the periodic table. There were certain merits of this periodic table. These were masses of elements were revised and corrected. Initially, during Newland's as well as Daubernier's, certain atomic masses which were initially found, they were somewhat incorrect, and that is why these atomic masses were revised and they were corrected, they were changed. For example, beryllium 14.09, it was changed to 9.4. So this correction, this was a changeable part in Mendeleev's periodic table, and this was corrected here. Now the second point was vacant places were left in periodic table. So it was assumed that there were certain more elements to be discovered after a certain time. So they were under searching. So that is why he kept certain vacant places and he named them as Eka boron, Eka aluminum and Eka silicon. The predicted atomic masses were 44, 68 and 72. And afterwards, when later on they were discovered, they came to be known, the elements were scandium, gallium and germanium, and these elements, they were placed in these vacant places. Now another one more point, that noble gases were discovered later on. There was no place found in Mendeleev's periodic table for noble gases. So he created a separate group on the right hand side of the periodic table and he named them as zero group, and he placed all the noble gases elements in that zero group and created the periodic table. But there were certain limitations also to this periodic table, and now we will discuss what were the limitations to this periodic table. So here are the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. See, the atomic mass of cobalt and nickel was same in Mendeleev's periodic table, and there was an ambiguity about the position of cobalt and nickel regarding atomic masses, where we have to place them, whether in the same box or in different. So this question was not solved in Mendeleev's periodic table. Further, the second drawback, or we can say second limitation, was about isotopes. Isotopes were discovered later on, and isotopes are the elements which are having same chemical properties but different atomic masses. Elements having same chemical properties but different atomic masses are isotopes. So again, depending on the chemical and physical properties, they were coming in the same group, and depending on atomic masses, they were to be placed in different group. So again, this was a limitation about placement of the elements, that is isotopes. Now the atomic masses, the elements were arranged depending on the atomic masses, that is in increasing order of atomic masses, but it was found that the atomic mass was not uniform. That means wherever the places were kept in between two elements, vacant places, it was not predicted, or we can say how many elements could have been discovered. It was not predicted in this table. That means between the heavy elements, how many elements later on could be could be discovered. This was not predicted here. That is why this was again the limitation, that is atomic mass was not uniform in the periodic table. Now moving further, there was a great question for the position of hydrogen. The formula for hydrogen resembled halogen groups. That is, if we see the molecular formula of hydrogen H2 and fluorine, chlorine, bromine, if we see, it felt that the molecular formula resembled this group, but again it was having the properties of alkali metals. So that is why, with whether to place this hydrogen with halogens or whether to place it in alkali metal group, this was again a question mark. So limitations were there for Mendeleev's periodic table. That is why this was not 100% successful, and again rejection part came to the Mendeleev's periodic table. So it was successful only for the lighter elements. Mendeleev periodic table was successful only for lighter elements. So further, another scientist, Henry Moseley, he came forward with a new idea of periodic table in the year 1913. Henry Moseley, he predicted and he changed the whole scenario of the periodic table. He told that not the atomic mass but the atomic number is the fundamental property of arrangement of elements in periodic table. So that is why the old scientists in the year 1800 till 1913, they all worked with the physical and chemical properties as well as atomic mass as the fundamental property for the classification of elements. But in 1913, Henry Moseley, he came with the idea that atomic number is the fundamental property for the classification of elements, and the whole table was changed. Now we are going to study about this modern periodic table, or today we are studying this in the name of long form of periodic table. This we are going to study in the part 2 of our next video. Okay, so before concluding, we will have a quick revision of what we have done today. So in periodic classification of elements, the very first thing we discussed about that matter exists in the form of elements, compounds and mixtures, and what are elements, what are compounds and what are mixtures. Then further going, Dornier, he was the first scientist. In the year 1817, he came forward with the law of triads, and according to him, when elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic masses having similar chemical and physical properties, he found that the atomic mass of the middle element was approximate mean of the other two elements. But there were certain limitations. It was successful only up to 3 triads. What about the other elements? And by the time 30 elements were discovered, so for other elements it was not successful. So rejection came for Dornier's law of triads. Further, Newlands came forward with the idea of law of octaves, and according to Newlands, when elements were arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses, he found that every 8th element was having the chemical properties or physical properties, or the properties of the 8th element were repeated as that of the first. This was similar to the octave of music. That is why his law was called as Newland's law of octaves. But it was successful only up to calcium. So other elements were not following this law. That is why again rejection came to Newland's law of octaves. And further, in 1869 to 1872, Mendeleev came forward with this periodic table. He gave a clear picture. There were certain merits as well as there were certain demerits of this periodic table, but due to these limitations, again working came out, and Henry Moseley in the year 1913 AD, he came forward with the new idea that atomic number was the fundamental property for the classification of elements. Okay, so thank you.